takedown there from Jarred Brooks.
Yep, Brooks was able to utilize that energy, Michael, to put Lito Adiwan on his back. Now it's important for Lito to keep moving. He's got an overhook on Jarred's left arm. Let's see what he can do with it. He might be trying to transition into an omoplata, which is a shoulder lock, but Brooks, he says he's been working a lot with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu athletes, really fine-tuning his submission game and submission defense to make sure none of these submissions that Adiwan's gonna threaten with are gonna become a problem. I like the overhook by Lito Adiwan. Big takedown.
Beautifully done there from Jarred Brooks, a second takedown from the American inside the first minute. Close guard here from Lito.
Brooks is strong, easily picks up Lito Adiwan because of that overhook on the right side of Lito Adiwan. Let's see what Lito can do with this. He's got to create a little bit more movement, maybe abandon that overhook and create some movement up against that wall. Put his feet on the hips and start working away. This is not a good spot to be in against Jarred Brooks. Jarred Brooks has a very aggressive ground and pound game. He might be looking to punch his way past the guard and then look for a finish.
Gets the arm out, drops an elbow to the orbital there. Does Jarred Brooks another one. Forearms raking across the mandible now of Adiwang. You can hear Jarred grunting behind these strikes.
Good frame there. You can see how he's framing off the arm to keep control so he can deliver the elbows. That's a good way to deliver ground and pound without really breaking your posture. He's staying nice and tight, not allowing Lito to create a lot of movement. You can see Lito's trying to get a possible butterfly hook with his right leg, but Jarred shut that down with his knee positioning. See, you can see what Lito's trying to do. He's trying to get his right leg underneath the leg of Jarred to create possibly a sweep or at least some elevation on the hips, but Jarred is wise to it, and he's keeping his knees exactly where he needs to be to eliminate that. A lot of experience on the grappling side coming from Jarred Brooks right now.
What would they be telling Lito to do right here, Dragon?
You can see he was trying to get his back up against the wall, right? So that's good because he can use the wall to work his way back up. But just as he tried to do that, Jarred turned him to his right and put him flat on the mat. Jarred just smothers people.
So fast and precise with the elbows. Jarred Brooks tries to curl in the right knuckles now. Switches to the left hand. And with every strike he throws, you hear that key eye from Jarred Brooks. The corner applauding the elbows of Jarred Brooks. Cracks another one to the side of the head. Just measuring Lito Adiwang. Brooks trying to open up a place in the top 5 and take Lito out of there. Lito appearing in the top 5 for the first time.
Yeah, Jarred Brooks is bringing a wrestling pedigree into one championship that not a lot of strawweights have seen. He's an Indiana State wrestling champion. So he is a high-level grappler, and this game is something that a lot of the strawweights are gonna have to deal with, getting taken down and then getting beat on from this position. Adiwan is very explosive. He's doing good job by putting his feet on the hips to create that movement, but Jarred was all over him. Now Lito's gonna try to use that wall, try to utilize that post. You can see Jarred's trying to suck the arm away to eliminate that post and drive him back to the ground, but Lito did a great job of getting back up.
Lito breaks off, and now he's got distance to work the strikes. And he barks at Jarred and sends him back with a nice kick off the right leg.
He's like, I did it.
35 seconds to go in the first round. It's been a good opening round for Brooks, but Lito can do some damage if he can land the strikes. The uppercut from the Thunder Kid, nicely done. He stuck him with it.
Oh,
and
that
Brooks
uppercut. That uppercut, Michael. He's also got a big left hook. Jarred knows just how dangerous Lito Adiwan is, especially when he closes that distance to look for that takedown. He's got beautiful uppercuts and awesome, dynamic, explosive hooks.
Final 10 seconds. Adiwang measuring the right hand again here. It's the high right round kick.
Nice.
They like the counter right hand. Shoots in for a takedown. Sprawls out as Lito.
That shot was from a really long ways away, but it seemed like it was such a long shot. He was still able to slide in.
It was like he was on a water slide.
Yeah, like a slip and slide right into the double leg. And he was able to suck those legs in. Lito's got to work his way back up. He does not want to sit around here and play. He had his back against the wall, but Brooks slid his hips away to keep him flat on the mat. This is what ADIWANG said he wanted to do. He said he wanted to throw elbows and hammer fists if he was on the bottom. But the way that Brooks has him pressed up against the cage, it's hard for ADIWANG to create the space and to really start delivering strikes that land with any sort of impact.
You know, Mitch, we saw Alex Silva earlier on, and we'll talk about the BJJ prowess of Silva and how he works to tap you out. But it's got to be just so physically depleting to have a wrestler of this high caliber on top of you, grinding away like Brooks is doing on Lito ADIWANG.
Yeah, it's
a completely different form of punishment.
It's debilitating and it's also demoralizing when you're trying everything that you've used in training to get up and it's worked, and it's just failing you in competition. And you can see how he's trying to create the little angles with his legs, like he's trying to put his legs into position, trying to get his feet on the hips, trying to create butterfly hooks. See, he was trying right there. Now he's got it. Jarred's trying to step over that, right? Now this is where ADIWANG could possibly create a little bit of movement. You tried to switch over, but Jarred's just so good at controlling the hips. Right? The way that he's able to distribute weight and sort of just ride what ADIWANG is doing, it's really hard to deal with.
Can Lito possibly find a way back to his feet? Yes, he can.
But he gets jumped on. Immediately, Brooks jumps on the neck as ADIWANG works his way back up to the feet. Now he's just hanging there.
That's got to take a toll on the neck of Lito ADIWANG. Some knees now from Brooks. Leg kick from Lito. And he gets some distance.
If he slips up, pull that back to your level, team.
So groin strike accidental there from Lito, and is maybe a cut on the hairline of Lito ADIWANG, who has suffered some damage courtesy of those ground and pound elbows from Jarred Brooks.
Yeah, this break's going to actually be, you know, in the favor of Lito ADIWANG. I think he's going to have a chance to kind of recollect himself, rethink his strategy, especially when it comes to takedown defense. He's the referee into the, yeah, it looked like it could have been the knee right there.
So some recovery time here for Jarred Brooks, who was allowed the duration of a round, up to 5 minutes for medical treatment and recovery. When you get hit in the groin, nerve signals get launched to the brain at a speed of around 265 miles an hour.
Go back over here. Let's go, same position.
To give you an insight as to what
same position.
Brooks was experiencing.
Same position, same position. Let's go.
Right?
Yes.
So
Let's go.
We'll recommence them from the position they were in.
Yes. Okay, you guys. Okay, time. You guys good? Yep. All right, let's go.
And we're back over. Shoots down for a double.
Nice level change there, thrown by Jarred Brooks as he drops down, attacks the legs.
Boom, shakalaka. Nicely done from Jarred again.
Picks him up, puts him down, and immediately triangles the leg and works his way into mount. That's high-level grappling right there, Michael. Steps over, ADIWANG's gonna try to do something, but gives up an arm triangle in the process.
Catch.
Now Brooks is gonna drive his shoulder basically into the neck and arm of Lito ADIWANG.
He taps out, it's good night, Irene. Yeah. Jarred Brooks starts.
Who's the boss now?
His journey. Whoa, how about that? Jarred Brooks.
Man! Me! Yo, Miss Chilton! All y'all need to know! It's me!
Your winner, by way of arm triangle, Jarred